Canucks fans are left scratching their heads today. Bruins faithful in Canucks country are celebrating a huge victory, and Saanich's Lane Crockett is leading the charge. The 40-year Bruins fan has been bleeding black and gold since 1969, the year he befriended his hockey hero, Bobby Orr. When the Boston Bruins are in the playoffs, Lane Crockett is flying the black and gold colors in his yard and on his SUV. But when the Bruins are in the Stanley Cup Finals...
For the finals, it's time to bring the gear out because there's no point in it being in the closet.
From banners, bobbleheads, and ball caps to Hawaiian shirts that only Don Cherry could pull off, Crockett is a true collector of all things Bruins.
The only thing I don't know is a pair of underwear.
Lane's love affair with the Boston Bruins began in 1969 when he was just 7 years old. He was born with a hole in his heart and underwent open heart surgery that Remembrance Day, a procedure in its infancy at the time. When he awoke, his father asked what he wanted, and Lane didn't hesitate.
I said, I'd like a Boston Bruins jersey, so he looked all over town and couldn't find one, so that night he picked up the phoned Boston, talked to a secretary. The secretary couldn't help, but she goes, I think I might have somebody who can help. On the line came on Milt Schmidt, the general manager of the Boston Bruins at the time, and he told my father he couldn't send me a jersey, but he said, we'll send him out something. So about 3 days later, I had this gigantic fruit basket arrive with autographed pictures of Bobby Orr. It really picked up my spirit.
Bobby Orr. It was the beginning of a lifelong relationship with the hockey legend. Bobby Orr invited Lane to his Victoriaville hockey school later that year, and when the Bruins faced the Vancouver Canucks in 1970, Crockett was Orr's special guest.
Kenny Hodge gave me a stick, and I had it signed by the entire Stanley Cup champions.
He greets those sticks every morning.
I wake up in the morning, good morning, boys, have a seat, turn on the TV.
Those pieces of wood are almost as resilient as their owner.
Actually have survived the fire. They were in a bar out in Brooks, Alberta a few years ago, and thank God my buddy ran in, grabbed the sticks. I got them back about a year ago, and I says, that's it, they've got to be put up and framed up. I says, this is it. They're worth a lot of money.
A lot more than this $20 bet that Lane placed on the Bruins to win the Stanley Cup when he was in Vegas back in September. But wait, Lane also placed a bet on another team to win the Stanley Cup.
The Vancouver Canucks. Being a Bruin fan and having the Canucks next door, who I grew up with, I can't lose. I'm really, really happy. If the Bruins win, I'll be dancing out my front yard with a bottle of champagne. And if the Canucks win, I'll be inside with the champagne.